Welcome. We're back. Another week has ended. Another week has ended. No top. Well, I mean, no topic. Probably no topics in the future either. I find it too restrictive. You know, like I'll talk about a yeah. It's just wiser with Pfizer. It's misspelled too. It shows how wise I am. Uh, so, I will just talk. This is gonna be invariably less of a. I got tired of doing lectures. You know, I'm not fucking half educated, you know. I'm in no place to do lectures on topics. But wisdom is the opposite. Wisdom is like an opinion on a thing. So we've shifted gears. I'm just not a fan of lectures. I'm not a fan of doing lectures, you know. I could do a whole lecture on the Bigfoot and shit, but why should I? Well, so invariably, I mean, there is a new redeem here for this. Only this, and it allows the viewer to suggest a topic to talk about, which I will. Whether or not it'll be poorly talked about or well talked about, who knows? So, we'll start things off with just talking about the week. Anyone else? Talk about your week. We'll talk about the week. This week in particular. This day that we are on. Uh, for me, normal week. A lot of normal weeks lately. Uh, Time kind of feels like it squishes together for me nowadays, you know, without constant constant like having to get up and do stuff to maintain, you know, caretaking bullshit. Without that, without that, I don't know. I never adjusted. I never like ever assumed I'd be out of caretaking, so I never like prepared to normalize myself afterwards. So kind of, honestly, in my deepest depths of my soul, I feel like I'm just waiting for him to like wake up so I can cook him breakfast. You know, I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm in like a weird purgatory zone. You know, or like I'm waiting for something I know won't happen. Uh, just trying to be a good trooper and stick by. But like, it'll get out of my head one day. But you like the pivot? I don't know what pivot I did, but I just don't like being I don't like doing lectures to people. I'd rather just bass fishing. I'd rather just talk. This is I assume that at the end of the week, this stream right here is the just the we talk about the week kind of stream, talk about the games I've played, any events, anything interesting I have to think about. I've got the YouTube players in here, and I don't have to change the board every 10 seconds. That's the biggest problem with this is that I've explained this to Six before, that it would take me way longer to actually like do all the research, get all the graphics, which the graphics also included my note cards. I had like 50 of them, and I had to like copy and paste text onto the every singular image, make sure they matched up and everything, and had to do it every time to make sure I didn't like double up my note cards in here. And it was just research. I had to like actually do like triple. I had to triple check my research to make sure nothing said was inaccurate because I don't like putting people down the wrong path. I don't like misleading people either. Simple as that. It was. I tell you what though, my quantum physics shit, I like quadruple checked everything on there. That's all true. It's weird. That's why I was probably so flabbergasted while I was like doing the quantum physics thing, because after my research, my brain was like all fucked up because I'm like, oh, this shit's real. Like I was gonna make fun of quantum physics. I was legit gonna make fun of quantum physics for 2 hours because I assumed it was all just still theories. I didn't realize there was actually like real applications of it. And it's like, oh shit. Well, fuck. Color me impressed. I was very impressed. It fucked me up a little bit too because it makes you think. But no human being on the planet has a full understanding of quantum physics. So clearly, this creature 0% chance as well. So you want me to talk about fishing? I will. I'll keep that in the tank. But first and foremost, how was your week, Karison? How was your week, Six? Well, I saw you in banter last night. I don't know if you fell asleep or not, but you missed out on some awesome Alien. Me and York played Alien video game together. It's great. We were the Colonial Marines. It's amazing. So good. So good. He showed me his watermelon gun. It's a gun with a watermelon skin on it. It was awesome. And he almost unlocked the dragon fruit skin for his gun. But I went to bed before that because it was 4 a.m. by the time we stopped playing the video game. Very fun, though. Yeah, York's been fine. I know people have been asking about York. Like, oh, what happened to him? He's fine. York is... He works a lot, and then he takes care of his mother. You know, that's it. That's his routine. So, unfortunately, he just doesn't have the time. Or, I guess when he does get time, he doesn't want to just spend it, like, goofing off in Twitch chats and shit. He wants to, like, go play, I don't know, like a real video game and eat a bag of chips and chill, you know? Almost joined Banter. Honestly, you should have joined at 4 a.m. You would have kept me up. I would have stayed up, you know? Because I was like, already I was wrestling with, like, well, it's 4 a.m. I want to go to bed. But I was having a lot of fun, you know, because playing video games with York is super fun. Oh, yeah, did you enjoy that? Hey, I'm telling you, when York gets... York seems like a stick in the mud until you actually get him, like, interested in a topic. And then he's very, very delightful to talk about with that topic. It's great. I love it when that happens. It happens rarely. But, you know, I can bring that out of him, you know, if I try hard. It was very fun. I was very amused with York telling me about how much he hated Goku. Because he said, oh, it's a terrible character. I'm like, no, that's a well-written character, honestly. Like, Goku, like, is, like, the most anti-Mary Sue protagonist in anything. It's pretty fucking dope. Oh... Yeah, I couldn't point out any flaws. That he even gave props to Vegeta, because, you know, once Vegeta became a good guy, he's like, well, I'm gonna marry Bulma, and then I'm gonna raise a family, and that's it. And then every once in a while he'll fight. If, like, Goku fucks up and pisses off some demigod, Vegeta's like, yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, the good old witching hour. You finally got your internet set up today? What the Have you been internetless? Jesus, Karrison. How did you survive? The real world is weird and boring. I've been slowly making, like, real people friends, and it's weird. It's weird to have real people friends, but good. Why would you do that, Karrison? You know, the bar, I assumed I'm just very, like, charismatic online, right? Or, like, in VR. Like, my charisma is just, like, locked into the internet sphere, but nope. I've charmed an entire bar. Everyone gives me, like, the fist bumps, and they go, hey! You know, they do that shit. It's amazing. You just go around being nice. They're mostly bikers, too, but, you know, they know I'm cool. They know that this guy, he's all right. Don't worry about him. Hey, can I get you a beer? Like, hey, yeah, you know, it's awesome. It's so good. Yeah, it's amazing. I watched a guy get thrown in the water by the bikers, you know. I didn't get thrown in. I'm cool. You know, that guy over there, he's all right. Don't worry about him. You know? It's great. But yeah, you know, I feel like an alien species. Like, I feel like an alien creature who's, like, landed on Earth. And I'm like, well, let me check out these bars I've heard so much about. You know? Just mostly a lot of observing and, you know, just it's very, very fascinating. It's not even a good bar. It's not even like a fancy bar. It's not even like hip people. It's just like a bunch of, like, you know, like rundown rednecks. It's a fucking dive bar. It leaks. It's amazing. Love the place. It's so good. I get to watch people fish at the bar, which, you know, bass fishing. I've talked to several fishermen, and with me, the way I talk to people is, like, I like to let the other person talk, because I'm very uninteresting. I don't have a lot to really say, or, you know, like, I'm compared to most people, I'm pretty boring. I don't do much, you know. I don't have a lot of experience in things, but, like, you never know. And when you catch someone, like, I've caught plenty of people who tell me, like, oh yeah, I like to fish. And I'll just ask them. I'll grill them on, like, why they like it, and, you know, and stuff like that. They always give me really good reasons too. Like, it's, you know, it's for one thing, it's free food technically. You know, if you're good at fishing, you're going to, like, have a net positive of protein meats in your freezer, right? And it's relaxing, it's nice. And if you're a loner, once you get out there, there's nobody around to fuck with you. I don't know. I don't think I'm very interesting at all. I think everyone I encounter, I think other people are very interesting, but I already know, like me, like I already, I've had enough of me my whole life, right? So I find other people way more interesting because I know why I do what I do and think what I think, but I don't know why other people do, and I don't know why someone would be passionate about like whatever they are passionate about. Um, and I've fished a couple times. I've never gone bass fishing. I've never gone like fishing for bass. Hey, Blizzy. Oh my God. How you doing? Calling me a goober? Well, he told me to talk about bass fishing, and unfortunately, the biggest fish I've ever caught has been like a catfish. It was pretty big though. It kicked my ass. I feel like I caught the fish, and then we had like a fight, and then it won because another fisherman had to go over there and bonk the bastard because it was like fucking freaking out. It freaked me out. Terrible. The first thing I've ever caught in my life was a giant catfish because I'm pretty strong, like whatever. Pulled it right out of the water. Like it was no problem for that. I'm like, yeah, brute strength, cool, right? And then I saw it with my eyes, and I tried to touch it with my hands, and I'm like, I don't like both of these aspects of this part of the fishing. I like the part where I yank it out of the water. Like that was pretty thrilling. But then once it's in the boat, it's just looking at you like, what are you doing to me? Why would you do this to me? Like I can't handle it. I felt, like holy shit. What, the silliest one? Jeez, gosh. Otherwise you're just shoving a fish with bones and poop in your face like a savage. Yeah? Yeah? Protein meats? Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, if you live near the water, there's very little reason to not go fishing, honestly. Like, I don't think you need a boat, but there's also, like, water next to ground that you can fish into, so you don't even need a boat, really. I mean, the stipulation is you actually have to like eating fish. Like, you have to, like, enjoy the taste, but have you seen how expensive, like, meat and stuff is at the grocery store? Fish are technically free if you can get them. I watched these fucking people at the bar. They like caught a crab, right? They caught this crab, and I've seen this crab down there before. I've seen him walking around, and these crazy fuckers started ripping off his legs and shit and putting them on hooks. And I'm like, holy God! Imagine if like some alien species showed up and grabbed your ass, right? And then they got your arms and legs. That's it. Put you back in the bucket, and then they started using your arms and legs to like catch like a galactic fish or some galactic monster. Like, yeah, well, they love these human arms, Yeah, that's what I assumed the crab felt at that moment. you did it again, Karrison. The guy who does my nails taught me the best way to prepare freshly caught fish. Really? Is it real? Like, did it sound sensible what he told you? Very slight change of scenery. But yeah, fishing is interesting. I don't know about bass fishing, though. Like, I don't know what the difference between normal fishing and bass fishing would actually be. I assume bass are like freshwater, right? Freshwater fish, so you'd need some sort of like really dope lake, something like that, I assume. I could be wrong. Accurate fish portrayal. I don't even. Did you know the sky is green today? So you guys need to really just count your blessings, honestly. That's a bad omen. I don't know if you guys believe in omens. That's a bad one. Right there. This green sky? How are you not worried? Why are you guys not more worried about the fact the sky is green? I am. I've been worried all damn day about that. I'm like, what does that mean? Is it poisonous out there or what? Someone have like a really big fart and it's just taking over? Like, I don't know. That's why I stay inside. I don't go outside. You never know what you could be breathing or what the sun's doing to you, or you don't know if there's a sinkhole under your feet at any moment. You could just ground just gets you. You know, that could be a sinkhole anywhere. Anywhere. Right now. You could be sitting over one right now. Just a big sinkhole right under you. Just one day. Right from your computer chair down into the earth. Keep them in a cold water and a cooler until a moment before you're ready to prepare them to eat. I don't know if I could, like, knife through any sort of, like, protein-based animal. You know, I don't know if I have the stomach for that. I think I could probably cut up animals and prepare them, but I don't think I'd ever be able to eat them after that. Like, I would just be thinking too much stuff. You know, I'd be thinking, oh man, you know, I just couldn't. My brain couldn't handle it. You know, I'm like only like one step away from being a vegetarian if it weren't for the fact that meat tastes so damn good. You know, meat tastes really good. It's a damn shame. You know, it's so tasty. It's so yummy. You know, we don't have grasshopper hamburgers yet, so, you know, I gotta wait on those. I bet you the grasshopper hamburger is gonna be tasty. Oh, I bet you they're gonna be really good. Maybe not. I bet you they'd be rather gritty, if anything. Just very, very gritty, you know? Hey, but some people might actually prefer that. That might be their, like, their preference is gritty hamburgers. That's right. I have water, like a man, like a real man. I've drank water. I drink water. Yeah, that's right. Right, you can't deal with me now. You're done. I mean, you can't handle it. I'm completely sober right now. You're fucked. You know. Yeah. When I'm drunk, I trip and fall and sway. Right now, I'm solid as a stone. Talking about bass fishing. He's what? He sent us. What's that supposed to mean? It's very, very ominous. Who's this he you speak of? Hey, and welcome. A1. Welcome, A1. What the? Holy shit. Is it Jonas? Holy crap. Well, hey, welcome, guys. We're talking about nothing in particular today. Usually we have topics. Today I've decided no more topics. I'm tired of lecturing people. You know, I lectured people about space aliens, and they've never been the same since. You know, I fucked them up. Yeah, I can't be doing that to people anymore. You know, how's everyone doing today? It's good to see you all. Holy crap, Texas Bob, Coldly, Codly, cool. Holy guacamole. Well, hey guys, how's everyone doing on this beautiful Friday? Hopefully pretty good. Hopefully better than most, you know. Fridays it can be good or bad depending on if you work on, like, Saturday. He's doing a challenge where he can get 10 shoutouts for 10. Holy shit. Okay then. Well, thanks, I suppose. It's good to see you all. How am I doing this Friday? Not bad. Not bad at all. It's been a good week. Played streamed Silent Hill F yesterday. Got a good taste of that. So that was fun. Also, they announced Kiwami 3. Yakuza Kiwami. If I had waited just a little bit longer, I could have fucking streamed Kiwami 3 instead of the original, which was, you know, a little rough. Still fun. Still a very good video game. Save Coldy. Make the man get his bread. Get his bread. I do like bread. Hey, do you guys have a favorite type of bread? I'm partial to soft pretzels, personally. You know? With the little twisties. They're really good. Soft bread. Oh, breadsticks. Breadsticks are so tasty. Bread in general is underrated, I feel like, as a good food stuff. Oh, I guess I should say, this is a world that I made myself. That's mainly what I do in VR chat is I make worlds. And then sometimes I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll stream in one of these places I've made, you know? But mostly I just like to make creepy, dark ass, just places to hang out. You know, just usually they're dark. Usually it's dark, and I cover them in like dirt and like like grime and footprints. You know, you gotta have the prints. You know, you never know what you bring in when you come in from outside. That's why you should never go outside. You know, you might step in something. It's awful. Breadsticks, yeah, breadsticks. Pretzel buns are indeed good. They also have those pretzel crackers, like the which aren't bad actually, with the right cheese. Please shout out. Yeah, let me shout him out. Let me see. What is his name? Cold E. 1 second. Whoa. Can we get a Forsen angle? I mean, if I knew what that is, yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, let me get that shout out going. I'm gonna let you guys look at rain. Enjoy the rain. Look at the beautiful day it is today. It's just a beautiful day. Well, I mean, not really, unless you like rain, which I do like rain. Just give me 1 second to get that going. I mean, I hope that's the right guy, you know? It seemed like maybe the right guy. Hey, no problem. Thanks all for popping in for a little while. It was cool to see ya. Where the heck did my camera... Oh, yeah, I put it up here. Hey, guys. Where did... Oh, there we go. Oh, my gosh. You don't need to see that. Jesus. Hey, welcome. No, thank you guys for popping in. You guys startled me considerably, considering I'm just here talking about bass fishing, you know, just chilling and talking about bass fishing. You guys, particular bass fishermen, fisherwomen? Probably not. Me neither. Me neither. I fished once and the fish scared me, so I stopped doing it. You know, fish are scary, man. Like the scariest part about fishing is that it's almost like a jump scare, right? Because you throw the line in, and then something starts pulling you. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna pull out of there. You could pull out like anything. It could be any sort of like alien-looking creature that comes out of the ocean. You know, fishing's fucked up. It's just a bunch of jump scares. What if you pull out like a squid? Your brain might not be able to handle the fact you just pulled a squid out of the damn water. You know, I'd be very questionable seeing a fucking squid staring back at me. Like, holy shit. You fish for ass. That's smart. Smart. If I ever pulled an ass out of the water after fishing, I'd be equally concerned. I'd be about as concerned as I would be if I pulled like a squid out, I think. I'd have questions. I'd have many questions. I mean, what the fuck is going on? But, you know, the sea's a mysterious place. Mostly unexplored. You never know. Could be all sorts of shit down there. And there's supposed to be 2 oceans, too. Like we have the ocean, right? Like this is our ocean, and then there's the bottom of the ocean, right? And then we've done tests and like drilling and shit, and there's an ocean under that like layer above the bottom. So and it's bigger. So like our big ocean, there's just more water underneath there. I want to know what the fuck could be swimming in there. You know, it could be anything. It could be nothing. Microbes. But maybe it's the bloop. Remember the bloop? And like suddenly just like radar scans just picked up something that was like too big to make sense. I mean, we still don't know what it was. It's just like a weird big like growl, like off in the distance of the ocean. It's cool. I like the ocean a lot. As much as I love the ocean, though, I refuse to play Subnautica whatsoever. Like 0% chance I would ever play that. It scares me. I played it once for like 10 minutes, and I jumped in the water and swam around for a bit, and I'm like, no way, Jose. And then, like, I saw, like, a big, like, crashed ship, like a spaceship, like, way off in the distance. I'm like, well, that seems like a reasonable place to swim towards, because it's, it's above water. I can get inside of it. No, because, like, underneath this thing, as you're, like, approaching it, there's just a bunch of giant, like, sea monsters. They're very big. They're very scary too. Like just very startling creatures overall. To be quite honest. I need my water. I gotta drink water. Wow. It tasted very wet. Very wet. Um, it's more about the texture than the taste, I suppose, when it comes to water. You know, you just want to experience the liquid, you know. Soda doesn't make much sense if you really think about it. So soda's like torturous, like a torturous version of like water, really, right? Because the carbonation doesn't feel good. Yeah, it's not like a good feeling. It's you know, if you like chug a soda, it's like awful, you know. You get a bunch of pressure in there and stuff. It's like torture water. It tastes really good though. I still drink soda, even though I consider it to be torturous water. But it kind of is. Seltzer water? That's torture water. That is 100% torture water right there. Like, no doubt in my mind. Like, some insane person made seltzer water just to, like, torture people. I'm telling you. It's the only way. Well, but yeah, that's enough about fish. I think we've squeezed what we could out of bass fishing. I'm not a fisherman. I probably will never become a fisherman either. I mean, maybe if I like live near the Great Lakes, I'll start like bass fishing, but I'm very far away from those particular locations. Oh, but yeah, the week's been pretty good. I played Silent Hill F. It was okay. It was all right. It's not a Silent Hill game, but they did say, like the people who made Silent Hill F said it is made for a new audience, regardless. So I shouldn't have expected for it to cater to me at all. You know, I'm just an OG fan who I like the original ones. You know, I liked 1, 2, 3, 4. I like 5. I never played 6. And 5 is fine. 5 is the worst, but it's fine. It's still a Silent Hill game. It's just the worst one, you know. And but by Silent Hill standards, being the worst one is not bad either, you know. You know, it's a bad Silent Hill game. Doesn't make it. It's still a good horror game though. But yeah, Silent Hill F. I probably won't be continuing it though. It's just not for me. It wasn't made for me. It's not a Silent Hill game. Like there's no real reason for me to play it. You know, because I'm just interested in like the Silent Hill town lore and bullshit like that. You know, not like new standalone stuff. But maybe, you know, have at it. I'm just happy to see another Silent Hill game like out in the wild. I just hope like the next Silent Hill isn't going to be a sequel to F, and it's just going to be like the Silent Hill as it stands is going to be lost. You know, conceptually lost, and you know, because that's what will happen if they go down this new route that they've created, and they keep making games after that based on it. That one itself is not like Silent Hill, so it would just it should just have like just a different title. It's the same problem with Silent Hill 4. They both should have just been named differently. That's simple as that. I wouldn't have minded it. It might have made me more interested in it if it wasn't like, because I feel like I got a little tricked. You know, I feel like they tricked the Silent Hill fans a little bit with that game, you know, because you buy it and you go like, well, what do you mean there's no health drinks? What do you mean there's no seal of Metatron? Hey, wait a minute, this isn't Silent Hill. Where's the fog, you know? It's so distinctly different, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell. Well, I think for Silent Hill F, it gets this weird, like, I notice any game that takes place in, like, a feudal Japanese setting, like, people overlook a lot of stuff because they love that setting so much, they'll just completely overlook, like, a lot of flaws, and it happens a lot in games for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like that setting, so I don't know why people, like, kind of overlook a lot of stuff just because if it's that setting and that tradition, they're just like, whoa, perfect game. I'm like, well, no. Like, what if you're not really interested in like the traditional Japanese stuff, because it's ham-fisted more than like the Japanese like religion stuff is the most overly like it's the only like religious thing in gaming that is just spoon-fed to players like constantly. Like you don't I name like one game besides what was that game? Oh God, I wish I knew what the game was because it was Asura's Wrath. Like that's the God of War. Like these are other games that do like religious stuff, right? But like Japanese Shinto culture is like in every game like based in that. It's just like so just forced into you. And honestly, I'm just not, I'm not a very spiritual guy, right? Like I'm not really super into like spirit magic stuff. So like every time I'm always just like I don't know, you know, like I've never seen a ghost. So like at least Silent Hill was like purgatory, like punishing like a guilty individual. Like it made more sense in like the concept of like they probably like got like they probably died and they're just like experiencing some weird brain death throes, you know. Yeah, it's definitely not a Silent Hill game. They should have just called it something else. I don't understand why what the problem would have been. Like it's just a weird decision because they got me all excited for no reason, you know. They got me all excited for a game that like I probably would have seen and be like, oh yeah, I'll wait on that. You know, I'll buy it when it's on, which I will probably get Silent Hill F when it's on sale again. Like $30, $40, that's a fairer price than like $70 for, you know, a little 10-hour horror game. You know, especially one I'm just not really vestedly interested in. Yakuza 5 though, I've been having a lot of fun with that one. Yakuza 5 is actually really good. After playing 4 and 3, Yakuza 5, I'm starting, like, as I play it, I feel like I'm actually having fun again. Which I feel like with 3 and 4, as good as they were, I didn't honestly have much fun with either of them. It was too clunky to have fun. The combat was, like, too stiff, too clunky. I had to, like, overthink the combat in 3 and 4 so much to just account for like the basic fact that the everything's clunky. There's like delays to stuff, and like most of the moves depend on you can't be you have to like come to a dead stop to do some moves, or like you have to wait until like a enemy's animation gets to a certain point before you can do this or that. Like it's very clunky in that game in like 3 and 4 in terms of that. So you're spending more time just overthinking it because you have to like do everything like frame perfectly as opposed like based on like the animations and whether the guy's on the ground or whether the guy's slowly getting up, like all that shit, which makes it less fun because I feel like with Yakuza you should just kind of almost turn your brain off and just kind of just fucking attack, rather, because a lot of the ground moves for like picking people up in Yakuza 4 required you to literally stand over them and like come to a dead stop, so you can't like just run, and you know if you're pushing the analog stick at all, it just won't work. And you have to make sure they're in the right like down state animation to grab them. You know, if they're like grabbing their guts or something, you can't do shit. And like those particular pauses between like your actions, there's no like flow. It breaks the flow every singular time. So like 3 and 4, they just have a problem with combat flow, which doesn't make it feel like fun at all. 5 though, it's kind of like in a middle ground. It's almost there. Like it almost has that perfect flow to it that I feel like a combat game needs. Like an action game needs to be able to allow you to attack, evade, and defend like all in one flowing sweep, and then you can switch back through. Like it needs to feel like super dynamic, and there needs to be like if you're good at a fight like a action game, the flow should exist to where if you're good at the game, it just looks beautiful in motion. And I assume, like I know for a fact in Yakuza 0, if you want to be good at that game, you literally have to just cheese and spam the combat system. You basically have to kick a guy once, switch to a new stance, punch a guy, and it looks stupid. It looks like ridiculously like bad in motion. And I hate that. I think that combat flow should be way more important than I think they like developers and stuff like make it. Metal Gear Rising is a good example of like really good combat flow, and it's a real shame that there's so few games that actually focus on that. There just should be like a flow to it. Like attack and defense should be like almost like the same. Like it's like a good balance. Sekiro tries, but Sekiro is like also like trying to be a tryhard and being more hard than it needs to be. Therefore, the combat flow is taken off because they have to make the enemies, like they have to make the enemies kind of cheap. So therefore, like the combat flow has to stop before the enemy does something like clearly that's like, well, we don't want you to beat this boss too fast. So here's this like move that just sucks, and then they throw a lot of that into like Sekiro's, like because Sekiro's combat's close to being like pretty perfect in motion. Except that they have fucking grab attacks that break all the flow every time. It's a reset of your flow state every time. They're hard to dodge. They're hard to evade. They break the actual like philosophy of the combat, where you're primarily supposed to be sitting there with a dude and fighting him right there. You're supposed to be standing into the fray, not jumping away and shit because the guy's gonna fucking grab you. Like that breaks the flow. What's wrong with digging your heels in and just having a damn sword fight? Like, why does it need to be stopped for like a grapple attack where the guy like grabs your nose and then blah, stupid. Doesn't make any sense yet. But they just add that in there, so like it's harder. They did. It's just intentional, like decisions in a lot of cases. But I don't know. I think I don't think bosses need to be fucking cheap and then doing like cheap shots on you for it to be a hard fight. And I don't think you have to fight a boss 50 times for that to be considered a hard fight either. Like a boss can still be hard and you can still beat it in like 1 or 3 attempts. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. But making it so like a boss is like, this is every boss in this game, you need to fight him 500 times. It's like, no. Who wants to do that? It's silly. Balance your damn game. Just balance your damn game. Also, Silent Hill 3 has been super fun. Like, I've been having a lot of fun with Silent Hill 3. I'm very like two good games on the agenda, the board this week pretty much with Silent Hill 3 and Yakuza 5. Both of them are very fun. Very fun. I mean, we are going to get to the end of Silent Hill 3 eventually, though. Like, it's not going to be infinite, and then we have to find something else. And it's probably not going to be Silent Hill F. I'm sorry to say. I know. There's a lot of people who will enjoy that game. I'm just not among them. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just hope they make Silent Hill cool edition. They make the next one just really cool and like scary. That's my only problem with it, is it's not a scary game. And I'm sorry, but I play the, I don't know. I need to talk to like the people who make horror games and just explain to them, like, hey, oh wait, I'm here to play this game to be like scared. Like I don't want to play an action game. No, this is a horror game. Like, no, I don't need 500 fucking fights in this. Please, no, you don't have to. By all means, make the combat system good. No. But you don't need 500 enemies like around every. No, that's not scary. I'm sorry, no, that's not scary. The more you make me fight, the less scared I am. The less scared I am, the more I fight in a horror game. Give me like 10 enemies throughout the whole game. I'd be surprised every fucking time that enemy pops out. Just goofing around for 30 minutes, doing a few puzzles, searching rooms. Oh, this door's locked. Oh, this one's locked. And then fucking one singular enemy pops out, it'll scare me. What's wrong with that? Like, why does it need to be like around every corner there's a jump scare? That's just annoying. That's not even scary. That just annoys people. Yeah, just annoys people. It annoys me. I think Silent Hill Remake 2 was really good. I think it's a very good video game. But like I played it on normal mode, and I don't think I hunted down every single enemy in that game. And it said at the end my kill count was like 400. That's insane. That's a 10-hour game. You're telling me I had 400 combat encounters in like that short of a time? No way. Are you kidding me? You saw me play Silent Hill 3. I ran past like literally like 80% of the enemies in that. You know, there's no way to run past enemies in Silent Hill 2 Remake. They're too fast. There's nowhere to go. They'll just catch you. You know, the issue I think is the simple one of like games are trying really too hard to be like hybrids, jack of all trades. Like every game thinks that it wants to be every game. Like, well, let's make this like a really good action horror, this, that, and the other. Let's add leveling up systems and this, that. And it's like, no, you don't need that. You need to focus on one singular aspect of your game and make that really good. And it's simple as that. Like you don't, like it's not reasonable to have like 5 different like gameplay concepts for one game and then half-ass all of them and just be like, well, yeah, this is great. Look at all you can do. Like, all I can do is half-ass shit. Like, what are you talking about? Make a horror game that's just very scary. It's just make it like really fucking scary. That can't be that hard. That can't be that hard. Once they started ramping up on action and jump scares. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just not it's not good. It's I don't know. It's not meant to be scary at that point, which is a damn shame because I used to love horror games, but I can't really think of many that have come out in a long time that are actually like worthy of being called scary. You know, like I don't believe I still stand that I don't think jump scares count as like fear. I don't think jump scares count as like a scary moment. I think you could you could jump scare somebody with anything. Like you could jump scare people with a notebook. Boom, notebook, right? It doesn't matter. It's a reflex. Like a jump scare reaction is just a reflex to a thing popping out in front of you. It's not fear. It's cheap. It takes away. It annoys the player too when it's so often because you're just exploiting like a reflex. You're not making them scared. You're just, oh shit, a thing jumped out. Of course, I would do that too. Are you kidding me? That's a normal human response to something fast appearing in your like cone of vision. You know, I'm just saying, make people scared. Make people think. Like do the psychological horror route more. Make people like do something weird and then give them some time to like gestate on it. You know, think about it. Like give them some time to just think about the thing. You know, that's all. I think that's fair. You know. But hey, you know, I'm not an expert video game designer, so what do I know? Nothing. You know, I don't know anything. So, you know, I could be wrong. Maybe they know what they're doing. But it's still not scary. That's the objective fact. Yeah, I think, but I do love fear. I think horror and fear and scary shit, probably my favorite aesthetic out of like any other ones. Like, clearly, I mean, look, I like dark, I like gritty, I like spooky looking shit. Even my layout is like kind of looks like what you'd see in like a horror type situation. I think horror is great. I think it's I don't know. I find horror stuff to be very calming, therapeutic almost, you know? Because I assume most people have seen hard times, they've seen bad situations, they've felt dark emotions, they've felt alone or in dark places, and very few games actually allow you to feel like there's something understanding that feeling in you. Because most games are super optimistic and you know, bright and cheery, and there's nothing. And then they're like, "Oh, you're sad. You're weird." You know, like that's most games. Horror games, though, they let you appreciate like the darkness a little bit. You know, like, and then there's something to that that is definitely missed when it's just an action game with jump scares and loud noises and nothing of substance there. You know, like there's like horror should be an exploration of darkness and bad stuff and an exploration of like just the stuff you normally wouldn't see or talk about. That's the whole point. That's the whole premise of like the darkness of like horror. You know, you make a comedy to make people laugh, you make an action movie to entertain them, and horror is for, you know, your darkness, your depression, stuff like that. You know, it's meant to make you feel like you are understood and like heard in a way. And a horror game can also make you feel like, oh, I'm not the only one who feels, you know, awful. I'm not the only one who, you know, and it feels like they're lost or whatever. And horror games can like actually like make you feel very comfortable in that way. And like nowadays they're just they're just there to appeal to like a crowd who wants to scream every 10 minutes, I guess, you know. Oh my god, that thing jumped out of the closet again. And it's kind of stupid. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's kind of goofy doofy. The Final Fantasy Tactics remake does come out in like a couple days. I'm kind of interested. I I think everyone's a big fan of Final Fantasy Tactics. You know, it's kind of like one of those perfect video games. You know, there's not awfully like an awful lot wrong with it. And even with the remake, I bet you it'll be fun. You know, it's the same game, so how could it be bad? I guess we'll find out. I might wait for reviews. I might just fucking get it and see. Yes, and also they have a classic mode that turns all that off. So you don't have to play like a battle and then like every time you move or do anything or your character's just like, I'll move there right away, sir. Yes, sir, I'll use this potion. I'll imbibe it quickly. You know, I don't... There's only so much of that I can handle in a fucking 20-minute Final Fantasy Tactics battle. Watch as I draw my sword and slash this foe. You know, I'd be like, nah. What's classic mode again? Let me turn that off. I learned Fyra. You know, like, I'm not doing it. No way. No way. I remember I watched the trailer. I'm like, yeah, well, good thing there's a way to turn that off. Good lord, everyone's chatty Cathy. I don't need them to talk. Why we talking during a battle? You know, we just need to fucking kill, slay the enemy. It would be neat to hear like the actual voices of some of the characters, though. I'm kind of curious what like, because I know like, well, didn't War of the Lions also like already like give them voices? But these do sound distinctly different from that, so. Just want to hear what Sid sounds like. I hope they give Sid like a terrible voice, you know. Just Sid is just a very mild-mannered sounding man. I do wonder if they're gonna add anything new though. Like because like War of the Lions added some new content. I wonder if this one will too. You know, new classes or something maybe. Maybe not, but I don't know. War of the Lions had like the weirdest like addition because it added fucking Luso, and I'm like, nobody cares about Luso. And then they added Balthier, which is, he's all right. He's pretty cool. Cool dude. You know, I was okay with that. Having another gun guy on the team. But Luso? Really? You're gonna give me fucking Luso? Weird. Ugh. Yeah, the classic mode will allow you to... Because the one thing I'm going to lament is the nostalgic sound the characters like make when they get like KO'd or whatever in battle. You know, it rings in my ear. You know, when I think about it. I don't know if I could handle them taking that you know, it's too nostalgic. That game is baked deep in nostalgia for me and probably a few other people. Wait, so 6, when are you streaming next? Are you going to do your talk show pretty soon? Your weekly report? You're going to talk about O.J. Simpson? I mean, that's all I could assume. I'm saying if you're going to do the weekly update with Norm Macdonald's setting, you got to talk about O.J. Simpson at least once or twice. I feel like that's just part of it. Or at least find some other arbitrary man to bring up constantly. Like someone you hate. You gotta find like that guy from The Doors. You don't like them. You don't like the guys from The Doors, so you can bring up him all the time. Yeah, that makes sense. Except no sense in rushing it. So, it'd be nice to see. Just Teton is fine. You know, it's fine and dandy. Dang. Definitely an inspiration. Yeah, but I think you'd do well at just chatting. I think that would work a lot better for you than, you know, playing a game. You do me and your audience have gleaned from you one thing at the very least is that you do not like video games. There's no way. There's no way this man likes video games. This is the kind of guy who probably like went to the arcade at the mall and then laughed at all the nerds and then left to go get like a slushie. Like I can only assume, because the games you pick, I don't understand why you'd pick I have no idea. Every game you pick, I'm just like, what is this? Who? Why would you play this? What the heck? Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, dude, like what the... I see some games you pick, like I pick games that are fun to play, you know? Sometimes I'll pick a stinker, but like, even the stinker's got like something to it. It's like a morbid examination of like a, you know, a situation. Like Pentiment? You played Pentiment for 2 years? 2 years. Pentiment. Every day, 2 years of Pentiment. Like, you can never argue with me that you like video games. I'm pretty dead set sure that you do not like. You could have played. You guys could have like, you and Beef, instead of playing Pentiment, could have beaten like Resident Evil 5 co-op, Resident Evil 6 co-op, and like probably like 50 other games in that time span. You guys could have gotten so. Oh my god. You know how many video games there are, but except for Pentiment? Like 3,000. Maybe less. We're not counting Steam games. Those don't count. Those are porn games. They don't count. Porn games don't count. They're not real video games. Unless a porn game is 50 hours long, I don't care. You know, I want some goddamn story and like progression systems and stuff. Like, fuck you with your 10-minute video games. But yeah, no more Pentiment. I can't handle it. I couldn't handle the goddamn voice acting in it. That was the problem. Was that like the shit you guys were reading was like the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like all the dialogue in that game was just a collection of like the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like the dialogue in that game was so, it's just a bunch of peasants talking about like bips and buttons, you know. Every once in a while there'd be something interesting, and then it would just be like, Lady Magdalene has gone down to the loom to weave some thread. Okay. Like, what the hell? I got, yeah, okay. You know, and that was most of the dialogue. Go talk to Barker to see if he can bake you a loaf of bread. You know, that was all the dialogue in that game, was just fucking townspeople asking you to check on Timothy's shoes, make sure there's no scuffs. You know, it was all the missions. It started as a rib on beef. After it took a while, then it turned out to be a rib on. Yeah, it was a rib on all of us. By the fucking end of it was a rib on the audience too. You know, that was like a science experiment that went out of control. Is what that thing was. Self-rip is the worst thing. I was a voice actor. That was actually I pulled up his Pentiment playthrough and I just played like a part of it. That was from the Six's stream of it. You know, I just had to give you guys a good example. You know, I don't voice act. I just talk with my mouth. I mean, voice acting is fine, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know about like voice acting on Twitch while playing an RPG. Like, I don't know if that's for me. There's too many characters, too much shit to remember, too many voices to remember. It's just like a. Plus, like, do I want to subject that to my audience? No. I'm cruel, but not. You know, I'm cruel, but like not unusual. Well, no, maybe I'm unusual, but not cruel. Yeah, that seems about better. Yeah, so like, yeah, I'm not cruel. I'm just unusual. So like, I'm not gonna do that to people. I'm not gonna make you listen to 8 billion lines of dialogue. You know, love your content. Oh my God, wow. First time chatter. Last time you're gonna chat here, big boy. Add me on Discord so I can pressure you to do stuff and give me money. Please. Please add me on Discord so I can mess with you. I'm definitely not some sort of bot. Yeah, don't ever do that again. Play a real game. I don't see why that. It's like fucking trying to like feed this bastard medicine. And he's just keeping his fucking lips like, you know, like, play a real game. Oh, come on. You know, he just won't take the damn medicine. He doesn't believe it that medicine's gonna help him. You know, he's just like, nah, that's not gonna help me if I play a game people want to watch. Fuck that. I'm gonna play Boogie Two Shoes. You know. Nah, people want to see Jean Jacket Trimmer. What's Jean Jacket Trimmer? I don't know. Some game that came out on itch.io and it looks pretty bad. So I figured let's give it a hoot and holler and test. Gotta burn your hand on the pan. Never burn. That makes sense. Memo science. Boogie Two Shoes and Jean Jacket Trimmer. I mean, they probably are good, but that doesn't change the fact that they're not real video games. I'm sorry. You know, those are not real video games. Probably actually not real video games for truth. But no, you need to play play a game that people want to see, and people will come to see it. As simple as that. You think I'm gonna come running when I see some fucker playing like Donkey Kong Bongo Rama? No, I'm probably gonna close. I'm gonna see the list of people and they're, oh, the guy's playing Donkey Kong. Well, I have other things I could do. I don't want to fucking look at Donkey Kong, you know? You know, there's only so much I can handle. Oh, wow, everyone's playing Silk Song today? Well, I guess I'm not going on Twitch today, you know? That's just how I feel sometimes. Yeah, you know, sometimes just how I feel. See, I hate it when, like, a game just comes out and then every singular person that I watch is playing it. So, like, there's no escape from just watching the same game over and over again. It's just the same fucking thing. Oh, good, this video game again. That's great. You know? I like variety. I'm a variety streamer. Over here, we like variety. We like the test taste, like the platter. We like the platter with all the stuff on it, not just like one giant endless meal of one thing. Yeah, but variety. I think that's the best, honestly. But for you, I think you've done plenty of variety. I think you've done more than enough variety. I think you need to play a real game. You know, you've played all sorts of wonky ass games. So many. Hey, you guys see Elevator Paradise? It's an elevator simulator where you work as an elevator attendant. I'm gonna stream that one for 6 weeks. You know, don't do that. Don't you do that. I can find you some games that people would want to watch. I could find you weird games people want to watch. You know, I could help you out here. You know, how about that game? It's on sale. It's called No, I'm Not Human. That people would watch. I bet you people watch that one. I bet you you'd enjoy it. You know, it's not obscure. You know, it's not, you know, it's not 5 out of 10 video game. It's a game people like, and it's good. You know, and it fits your aesthetic. Or just chatting. Yeah, or just chatting. I mean, Silent Hill F just came out. You could play through that one. You'd probably like it. I think you'd like it way more than I did. I think you'd immediately see all the Japanese buildings and be like, this game's amazing. This game's beautiful. You know? You'd immediately... Is that a Takiwami pagoda? That style in this town? You know, you'd say some weird shit like that I don't know anything about Japanese culture, so like I'd be like, oh well, he knows his shit. He knew that was a Tatiaka pillar. Wow. To me, I just thought that was wood. You know, like you get a lot more out of it than I would. All I know is takoyaki looks delicious, and that's about it. That's all I know about Japan. I've seen takoyaki. I've bought it in Yakuza many times. It's my go-to. It's really good. I feel like if it's like a big spike with a bunch of balls on it, but if you ate it this way, you'd kill yourself, right? Like it would go right into your throat, kill you. You know, it's a very dangerous food. It's like skewered food seems unnecessarily dangerous, in my opinion. What's wrong with forks? You know, why do I need like a spike like this long to eat my meal? You know, I'm just asking for trouble. You're just asking for trouble at that point. That horror is subjective, though, isn't it? Like, there are a lot of things that scare us that aren't necessarily monsters. In fact, 99% of the cases of people being scared, none of them involve monsters. In fact, it might be 100%. There has been 0 actual cases of people being killed by monsters ever. So the fear of monsters seems arbitrary a little bit, if you really think about it. You know, like why would I be afraid of a monster? They don't exist. So when you show me something really fucked up in a video game, I'm like, oh, you know. But like you gotta get people in more fucked. You gotta get into like their brain, start hitting the shit that they're like uneasy about, or like, you know, just start making their brain like play tricks on them. That's the way to do horror. Do I have any phobias? Like, what do you mean by phobia? Like what? Like what's a phobia? Like an irrational fear? Probably not. I don't think so. I don't like the ocean, but that's not irrational. There's like 1,000 good reasons to why that would be a good phobia. I don't think I have a phobia. Do you guys have any? Oh, I know you seem to be afraid of germs, which is a good phobia to have, I suppose. But I, a man like less afraid of germs. The germs have not taken me out yet, and I died. So it could be a phobia, right? You know, if we compare each other, I don't wear gloves. When I pee, I hold the junk and go. No gloves required. There's a sink there I can wash. But there is a period where my hands are dirty between like the toilet and the sink, right? Like there's a period where I haven't washed them yet. Heights? Is that really a phobia though? Is it not? Is it not rational to be afraid of falling from like a great height, right? Because isn't a phobia like an irrational fear? Yeah, I don't trust monkeys either. Why would I? They're fucking. They think they're stronger than us. If you guys saw that movie, Nope, that has some monkeys in it. You might like that movie. If you guys are into monkeys, monkey horror, watch Nope. You'll be more scared of monkeys if you aren't already. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have any like real phobias or like where I'm like irrationally afraid of like a thing. But maybe I haven't. Maybe I've never encountered the thing I fear. Maybe I just have not yet to bump into it yet. There's probably something out there. I don't like horses. That's probably the most irrational phobia I have, is that I don't want to be around horses. I don't want to be around horses. I don't want to see them, and I don't want them to see me. Like I'd rather just be away from horses. They're freaky. I don't know. I don't like their eyes. Their fucking eyes like wake me out. There's something like deeply intimidating about like the way they look, and I don't know. I just back off. I'm like, I'm just not gonna fuck with this animal. Like I have no reason to fuck with this animal. I see it. It sees me. Why would I go up to it? Certain bugs. I mean, yeah, certain bugs are bad. But would bugs qualify as a phobia either? Bugs are terrible. Like it's not irrational to be afraid of a bug. Do you think? Oh shit. Hey Cryptid, how you doing today? We're talking about God, what are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about phobias, Cryptid. Do you have any phobias? Do you have the? I'm afraid of the ocean. Karasin's afraid of. You're a bug. Well, you're a moth. That doesn't count. We like moths here. We're very moth friendly in this department. Moths are different. They're like the cool. They're like a cool bug. One second. There you go. I had to put some moths in too. You think about moths, you gotta put some moths out. You're a bit afraid of the ocean. Enclosed spaces? The dark, really? You're a moth. Well, that makes sense. You seek the light. You seem like a good bug. Yeah, Cryptid's awesome. Cryptid's one of the first people I like started watching on Twitch, like way back in the day. They used to be they used to be a human streamer like Six, but then they turned into a not human streamer like me. Oh, they're cooler. They're like me, but like cooler. I'm just like a raccoon monster. They're an actual like Mothman. You know, big difference. How you doing, Armor? It's good to see you. We have no topic today. We have no topic today. Just general nothings today. Which is better actually, you know? I'm no lecturer. I'm not good at lecturing. Hey, thanks. I even got legs. Look at that. Got the legs. Woo! How you doing, Armor? Well, I was talking about the week. And I mean, I've already talked about my week. And Six and Karasyn have talked about their week. But how has Armor's week been? How has Cryptid's week been? You guys have a good week? Or a bad week? If it's a bad week, that's fine. You can tell me too. Like, as far as I'm concerned, bad weeks are still weeks. They're just like bad, you know. Just bad. It happens. Some are good, some are bad. You know. It's been a good week. Kind of hot, but decent otherwise. Yeah, but the weather's starting to change. We're getting to that point where like the weather's going to be like decent for like a little while at least. Not enough gaming. Not enough gaming. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, your kids are your kids, and that's it's not a bad thing. Eventually, you'll find time, but the temps went down. Yeah, the temps are going down, which I'm very happy for. Oh, also I make oh shit, I make VR chat worlds, and this is one of them that I've made. Well, I mean, I kind of made this one just for my streaming stuff, but and you can go back here too. I made it creepy back there for no reason. It's just because I like creepy stuff, really. You know, I'm just a fan of horror. But that's mainly what I do. It's like my main hobby is just like, well, you know, I want to make a virtual world. And sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they look terrible. Oh, shit, am I turned around? Yeah. There we go. We had to reorient ourselves into the proper area. Florida will get 11 non-consecutive days of decent weather and then back to the boiler. Yeah, that's probably true. That's how Florida works, though. I appreciate it. I get to wear a jacket for 11 days every year. And those are the best 11 days of my year, generally, you know, because I get to wear a cool jacket. It's great. Love it. Like, it's very ideal, honestly. I keep spinning around too much and then, like, pointing away from my actual cameras. Yeah, I'm just over here just doing loop-de-loops, basically. Yeah, it happens sometimes, you know. Sometimes you just spin around too damn much. Oh, but yeah, I'm glad everyone's been doing okay. I can't wait for winter for sure, especially even for doing VR stuff, because there's a giant like device strapped to my head that's not cold. You know, it's just I basically have like a giant heater strapped to my head. And I can't turn on like fans or anything, or like, because like, you know, to blow into the mic and stuff. But when it's fucking cold, God, it's almost comforting to have the headset on because it keeps you warm, you know. Then you just gotta worry about the rest of your body, you know. Well, yeah, summer's always kind of like iffy for any VR shit, especially if it's like very strenuous and you're like, I don't know, jumping around or playing a boxing game or something. Like you don't want to sweat your system out. Yeah, a little bit. You get kind of used to it though. Like at a certain point, you just get adapt to it. But you know, it's also pretty cool today too. Oh. Yeah, I played some Silent Hill F the other day, and yeah, mainly Silent Hill. We've been on Silent Hill kick lately for just gaming stuff. But Silent Hill 3 is the Monday game I've been playing, and it's still very good. It's like it still holds up like super well. Which you would think at a certain point these older games would stop holding up, but there's no. I don't think there's a bar for that. I think that if the package is like good and solid, it's just never gonna it'll stay timeless. Because it's been long enough since Silent Hill like 3 came out for it to be like, oh yeah, this is super dated. Nope, it does exactly what it set out to do. It's still fun. Oh, back. I was acquiring my water for drinking purposes. I will say this. It's a good game, but it's not a Silent Hill game. It basically is. It's just not a Silent Hill game. So if you're coming into it thinking like, all right, this is the next Silent Hill game, and I'm a big fan of the series and this, that, and the other, it's not going to give you anything back for those feelings, because it is basically a standalone thing. It takes place in a different town, and there's no real ties to anything. It's its own like package. As a horror game, it's a good standalone horror game, but it's hard to call it a Silent Hill game because there's nothing. Which it's called Silent Hill F. It's a it's a spin-off basically. So it makes sense. It's not called Silent Hill 7. I think you'd probably enjoy it actually. Like the combat's a little. I didn't like the combat. I didn't play much either. I just played like the first 2 hours, basically like the demo. And because I was coming into it looking for Silent Hill, and like when I realized like it's probably not that, I just kind of went, well, I'll wait for it to go on sale, for $70. I was kind of hoping to like, because it's been like, how long, like 20 years or something since the last Silent Hill really came out, so I was kind of excited, but they're kind of doing their own thing with it. Plus, it's I can't remember the guy who wrote it is like an anime manga writer, so it's kind of got an anime kind of tone to it as well. But it's just different. It's made for like a newer audience too, so like it makes sense that they're kind of, just throwing the ball out and seeing it, where it lands. But for me, I'll wait for it to go on sale for like $30, probably, you know. Because I know the Silent Hill 2 remake was actually really good. Like I played through. I mean, it was kind of laggy on my computer, but like, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't $70, like I probably would have, been a little more receptive to it. But it's a little steep for what it is, because it's kind of like a spin-off game. So, I feel like $70 is a good price for like a mainline. Like if it were Silent Hill 7, like the continuation, sure. But like even what was it, Expedition 33, which is like supposedly like a really amazing game. It's just like default $50 or whatever. It's like default price is way cheaper than like a lot of these other companies trying to be greedy with it. I also got to find something to play after uh, Silent Hill 3, unfortunately, because it's not going to last long. It's a relatively short game. I think Death Stranding actually is probably next on the radar for like what I want to play through, because I've been very interested in it and I know nothing of it because I've always avoided learning anything about it. Like for any game I try to play, like if I know I want to buy it, I just won't look at trailers or anything for it. I'll just get it, and I want to experience it all like as it comes. I don't want like outside things to like spoil even like the opening cutscene or this or the other, or even basic gameplay mechanics. Like I like to absorb it all in like in the moment. Yeah, it's always fun. It's always so much fun. Maybe when like the Yakuza series, I just decided I'm gonna stream all the Yakuza games, and it's a it's taken a while. We've gotten to Yakuza 5, but I knew nothing about the game, so everyone has been blind, and I feel like I've been enjoying it more, just because like I'm coming into these things and not knowing, what lies beneath. A lot of times like I mean I'm a stream viewer. I watch people's streams, so like a lot of the time I see a lot of video games, and like I kind of know what's gonna happen in a lot of the stuff I play. So like in some case, like with Silent Hill F, I didn't look up anything for it. I knew it was coming. I knew it said Silent Hill in the title, and so I just pre-ordered it and went. All right, fair enough. You said enough. You named it Silent Hill. I want it. Oh shit. Oh my god. Well, I got you. I got this guy. Don't worry. Hey, you guys, don't worry. I got him. They ain't gonna be bothering nobody else than these parts. Hey, I've been having fun. Also been thinking of just different ideas of like what to stream. Well, the VR shit, it's kind of like my side gig in a way. I did it once. I did the VR stream one singular time, and people were like, "Hey, that was pretty good." I'm like, "Ah, fuck, damn." uh, you know, you tell me I could have, I could be sitting here playing Yakuza right now, but no. People like I think it's because it keeps me focused. Like I can't just trail off and just be like, oh, I'll just play the game for a while and not talk. This keeps me like stuck into like a social situation, it's just like, hey, there's nothing for me to do but talk, In Yakuza, I could be quiet, do some cab work, In Silent Hill, in Silent Hill, like the background noises are like louder than me half the time, which is fucking funny. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is my. It's kind of my first model. Like the person who taught me how to do all the Unity shit, they helped make me this, and so I just stuck with it. Like if I change it, it makes me feel weird. And I'm like, well, that's because like you get so used to it after the years. So like, you look in a mirror, you're like that's not right. But I do spruce it up. Like I keep it up to date, like as much as possible. Because every like couple months, like they have to change how everything works. So I gotta like at least make sure it stays semi-functional. So yeah, unfortunately, I got turned into a damn furry after I came onto this game. I was not a furry before I got into VR chat. They broke me. I underestimated the tenacity of those bastards. Those furry little runts. I underestimated it. I was bullying them a little bit at first, and then they got me. They hook, line, and sinker. Oh yeah, once they get their damn hands on you, like it's over. You become like, like softer. They soften you up. You gotta watch out. If you go around trying to bully furries, they're gonna turn you into one of them. It's just how it happens. It's you're done. You're done. They're gonna be way more charming than you think, and it's just over. That's how they get you. I mean, the one thing I learned about them is that they're all very smart people. Like most of them were like programmers and stuff like that. So like invariably, like I was seeking them out because it's like, well, these people know like really like complicated shit, and I'm happy to learn that stuff here, like at least hear about it. Like I love to hear just like technical stuff and scripting and coding and stuff like that. Like it's very fascinating. Or even like Unity work, just talking to people about like Unity and Blender and stuff like that. It's really cool because it's those people are like at least actively like chipping away at their particular hobby, which I really appreciate. Like I love that. I just like seeing people just, I don't know, I feel like, people don't have a lot of free time really, but if you're gonna have a hobby, at least hopefully it's like one that like you can build upon, like something like decent. It's cool. It surprised me. Like I changed my opinion on stuff because I was a happy, proud human being for a long time. I was content with my human form. But now I'm, now I'm just a monster. Oh yeah, we can get this working. Get this working in 1 second. My damn phone's not working. It's ridiculous. So we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna suss this out. You know, it should be working. It's not. It smells like up dog. How you doing, Forenzy? Trying to get a video on here, but it's fucking me up.
Endless. Look, nothing's more
We found it. We found it. You probably already heard it. It probably was already spoiled to you. You know it's gonna be about cakes. You already know it's gonna be about cakes. You know, well, there's not even a surprise. In store. If it fucking works. If it fucking works. No, it doesn't work. You know what they've done? In the span of 2 weeks, VR Chat has broken yet another one of the available video players for people to use. That's ridiculous. It happens all the time. Yeah, basically, a bunch of people on here at some point, because I took a hiatus, right? I took a break, and I come back, and all these fuckers with their damn movie theaters decided to, like, turn this place into, like, a place where if you want to watch videos, you can go fuck yourself, right? So, like, at some point, there was, like, some issue with, like, all these movie theaters and people, like, watching copyrighted movies to where now I have to struggle with every video player I have. It's ridiculous. Even my commercial world, you know? Commercials. You know, it's commercials, not movies. But yeah, it definitely sucks that the video players have been, like, trounced into oblivion. How are you doing today, Forenzy? Hopefully you're having a okay Friday. Maybe, like, a decent one. It is ridiculous. Right? You know, apparently people were getting, like the actual, like, the copyrights of the movies were getting mad at VR Chat itself, so they've been, like, really just... Because what I would do is I'll make TVs and worlds and just, you know, have the YouTube player play, like, commercials or infomercials or something. Just for, like, background ambience. And even that's, like, difficult now to do. I have to basically keep, like, going back into the world and just doing a full update. Just to, like, make sure it works, which is not worth it. To just, you know, do that every 2 weeks. You know, so you kind of want to set it and forget it when you make a world, you know? Slight intoxicated. Hey, that's good. I mean, it's Friday. It's the time to do that. As for me, I am delightfully sober today. You know, I've decided sobriety suits me. Actually, I just got tired of, like... I feel like every time I got on VR, for some reason my brain would just immediately be like, alright, and also you have to drink now. And that was lame. That made it kind of a hassle to just get on VR, so I'm like, you know what if I just don't drink? What if I'm just, like, very sober in VR? It's not so bad. It's less fun. Granted, it's less fun. But I'm not going to wake up tomorrow, like, with a damn hangover or anything either, you know? There's the upsides to it. There's upsides, and there's downsides, too. Also, I'm not falling, you know? By this point, normally, what, an hour in? Yeah, I'd be drunk as fuck. I'd be sitting down there on that chair. I'd be like, well, I'm done. My legs stopped working. Yep. Don't need the white man's fire water. I just figured I'd attempt it because it makes it easier this way on me because I don't have to because I don't really like drinking that much, but people will always tell you, oh, you're so much more interesting when you're drunk and stuff like that, and probably true. It's still not worth it. It's still not worth it. That's like a very weird buff to acquire. I guess it's better than having a debuff when you drink, because some people do genuinely turn worse when they drink, right? So it's a good buff, but maybe a better debuff. Maybe if you drink and become a big asshole, it's a really good debuff because you just want to do it. You're like, oh no, if I drink, I'm really mean, right? But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's Ferenzi knows, Vinci knows. The VR chat has this way of just tricking you into getting shit-faced drunk while you're on here. Basically, I don't know what it is. It does help. If you're drunk in VR, it definitely feels it feels a little more real because you're so drunk you can't tell the difference anymore. But it's a bad habit. I've seen a lot of people just flat out, all they do is spend all their time on here drinking, and it's well, once in a while, sure, but that's a problem. That's obvious. I mean, I get it though. Some people might have really terrible lives outside of their headset, but still, it's not going to help them any, right? So I feel for them. I understand the escape. People want to escape from their situations or whatever and delve into a VR world of furries and booze, but it's not helpful in the end. If anything, I think VR chat and stuff like this should be treated as a reward structure almost, where I worked all week and I'm really tired, and now my reward is getting shit-faced in VR on Friday, right? That makes more sense because that's a reward structure, with it. But just every night, gosh. I just feel bad because I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends that are just clearly just lodged way in there. Sometimes I go in there and say hi, but I have to go into VR to communicate with them, and they're lodged way deep in it, It's always weird too, and the craziest part is that I take hiatuses. I take a break. I'm I don't feel like doing this shit, and I come back and most of the time the people I used to know, they marginally change, and sometimes more than marginally, and it's very fascinating to just see 1 year passes and this person's this way, and then they're just way off. It's crazy how quickly someone can morph within VR chat specifically. Really, once people get their talons in you, you never know how you're gonna end up. It's weird. It's kind of fucked up in a way, but you just gotta cross your fingers you don't get nabbed up by a bad group. Me, I got acquired by a group of weird Germans and a Portuguese guy, really, and they were fine. They just mainly made fun of me and then taught me a bunch of Unity stuff. That was about the gist of it. Just mainly got made fun of and bullied a bunch, but they were very nice and taught me stuff, which I appreciated the most out of that. I'm a big fan of people just being nice. That's my weakness. If I have any weakness in this world, if someone's just nice to me, I'm pretty much appeasable at that point. That's all it takes. If you're mean to me, though, you've probably lost the ability to appease me whatsoever, because I'm always going to remember oh, this guy's kind of a jerk. I'm just going to not talk to him, But if you're nice to me, you've already won me over. Because people are kind of, by default, kind of mean. So, I just I've dealt with enough of that, so I seek out people who are just, friendly. You bump into a lot, but just being nice to people, I think, is good strategy. Well, yeah, I can't. I have to stick up for myself because, the problem with if you deal with the adversity of someone just not being right to you, and you just accept it, then that's just gonna keep happening. Like, you have to like put your foot down and be like, no, like that's ridiculous. Like, and then just move on. Don't fight them. Just go. Just like don't stay. You know. Yeah, friendlier people are nice. I appreciate that. It's kind of rare, in a way, to run into like genuinely friendly people, like people who are being friendly, because a lot of the times people are like they they got the masks. We all have social masks or whatever, and so sometimes it's just like it's very very false, like kindness and stuff. But you can sense that if you communicate with enough people, like you can kind of taste it, right? But like there's definitely people out there who are like genuinely like sweethearts, empathetic people, and I feel like a lot of them are lost in the crowd because everyone, I mean, of course, everyone wants to portray themselves as like I'm the best genuine person on the planet, right? Anyone would tell you that, even if they're not, even if they're like terrible, right? They would still think of themselves like that. So there are actually real people like that, though. There's plenty of them. They just get like, they get kind of like oppressed and squished by like the meaner people around them, who just they basically de-confidence the person so they don't think that they're worthwhile. Like that's how a lot of this stuff happens. So it's unfortunate, that people don't. I don't know, because there's diamonds in the rough. That's like a real thing. That would be what that would mean, is that in the rough there are diamonds. There are good, like genuine people out there. It's just they're hard to find, But you always keep your eyes open, always. Because I feel like with like friends and friendship and stuff, you want to be able to trust the other person. Like you don't want to be suspicious of people. And someone who's genuine, and you know that, it's great. You can put your guards down and stuff, and it's very comfortable. But someone who's like, just like playing the part or whatever, it's scary, because the moment you let your guard down, you are doomed, right? So you got to be very careful to what amount of genuine like behavior you actually like let through, because people will stab you in the back. It's just a fact. And especially on the internet, because we're all faceless entities on the internet. So, human beings, it's weird, because unless they like personally interact with one another in real life and like touch each other's faces or whatever the fuck they do, you are not like a real living entity to some people unless like they actually do that to you. Like a lot of people will argue and say some mean shit to people online, on like Twitter or whatever, thinking probably not at all that they are like beating down some just other human being. To them it's very depersonalized. It's like the internet itself turns us into like dehumanized like entities. That's why people are so mean. Like a lot of the shit I've on Screen Celebration, a lot of like the mean shit I've ever heard told about myself has all been through the internet. Very few people have ever said anything like shitty to my face, and if they do, we have a discussion. But like, it's the internet. It like brings out some like I think the internet makes people very dehumanized to one another, because we don't treat each other like we would in like the real world on the internet. It's very weird. It's very bizarre. But yeah, I think it's because we just genuinely don't. Unless you see the human being and they're a foot away from you, it's hard for you to be like, oh, that's another person who lives in Iceland or whatever, Just one of those things. But, you got to you can't be jaded, though. That's the thing. You can't be jaded. You still got to keep your eyes open for, like, just genuine people in the future. Because you never know. You never know who, like, find good people, collect them, keep them around, don't burn bridges or anything, as best you can. Because we're all getting old, we're all getting older, and we can't afford to burn every singular bridge we run into just because of like a slight or something. So yeah, but yeah, nice people, genuine people. Holy shit, I know a few of them. They're really fucking dope. Genuine people though, who are very honest, you may not initially like them because they're gonna be honest with you. Like that's one thing you gotta be wary of, but I like that. I like having people around me who will very honestly critique the things I do, and it may suck to hear, but I trust those people enough to take it into account and try to like make some change. I think that's good to have too. It's like people who that if they're giving you advice, it's not like there's no malice behind it. There's no tricking behind it. They're not trying to make you a worse person through their advice. They're trying to help you be better. Like, it's good to have people around who you genuinely trust to that degree, Because, I don't know if I'm being an idiot half the time. York will tell me. York will tell me, like, I'm being an idiot. And I'll, oh, shit. Okay, I guess so, So, make sure your friend circle is like a bunch of good, solid people, You don't want to... You just don't want to get screwed by somebody. It sucks. Well. I was checking the time. Because we're about almost 2 hours in. I'm going to see if we got any raids we can do. I would go longer, but... I've been talking for 2 hours, and my voice is finally starting to be like, all right, buddy, what do you think you're doing here? Okay, I'm just hanging out. What do you mean? But, pretty good. No topic works pretty good. We usually had topics. I think we talked about Nikola Tesla. we had one of these that I was talking about quantum physics very poorly. We did a food one. We have talked about food. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved the food topic. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very sober today, which is unusual for these things. Usually, I slowly like imbibe whiskey as I go, and then by the end of it, I'm just like, whoa. Which is good. Sometimes I fall, but like luckily, most of the time I fall on things that are like soft. Like I got a chair over there, bed over there. There's floor over here, which, if I fall on floor, that's okay too. That's okay too. But I will, they'll give you some raid. I'm gonna glean around, see if there's anyone interesting we could raid. If not, shoot, I mean, there's plenty of good movies you guys could check out. Like, have you guys checked out YouTube movies? Holy shit, they got some pretty good ones on there. Actually, very recently, I watched a movie called Weapons. It just came out. It's actually okay. I'm pretty picky about like horror movies and games. Like I'm kind of critical about stuff. Like overall. But Weapons was pretty good. I haven't seen a lot of horror movies lately that really made me feel like it got me a couple times like with jump scares too. Okay, so we have a rec streaming. We're gonna bother rec. Let me make sure I get his name right. He's playing a video game called, I don't know. I don't know what that says. The First Berserker. Oh, okay. I still don't know what that is exactly. Thank you for showing up, Cryptid. It's good to see you again. Holy crap. Cryptid took like a fucking year break from streaming, and I've been sad ever since. Like, it bummed me out every time, because I have her. If you look on my page, I have her. She's one of my recommended streamers on here. Like I have her on my little recommended streamer thing on the bottom. I'd be like, well, one day maybe. One day he'll come back. I mean, honestly, most of them will probably be no topic from here on out. Like, I'll keep the, oh shit. Well, like, I'll keep the redeem on here where people can give me a topic to talk about for a little bit. Hell yeah. Well, good. I'll be happy to attend your streams then. And, I do my routine too. It gives me a good excuse to play video games, which is great. I don't like playing video games without streaming at this point. I've ruined myself. But yeah, everyone treat Wreckage was he's a good bean. He's a good guy. Wreckage, good guy. Genuine people. I just had that discussion about genuine good people, right? Wreckage is one of them. Also, oh yeah, before we do that, let me see if I can be quick. Remember to follow Cryptid. Just in time. And thank you so much for everyone for popping in. It's great to see everybody. And I'll catch you guys whatever the hell I see you next. But thanks again.